everyone. Harport Pub is on the road today. We are all the way down under in Sydney, Australia. I wish I knew where we were in front of. A bar on the street somewhere. And I told the bartender I want to drink the most Australian beer that you got. So I'm having a Cooper's Lager. And I guess I'll be having a Cooper's IPA when I finish with this. What do you think of Sydney so far?
I love it.
It's nice weather. I don't know what the temperature is, but it's not hot and it's not cold.
I think last time I checked it was like 73.
Very healthy place. There's a lot of walking. But when you're around everything, you just walk from one thing to the next. We did get to see the Opera House and the bridge, the Sydney Harbour Bridge.
Then we took a ferry. Because that was a lot of walking.
And it's kind of like Paris. It seems some of these places here close very early.
Yes.
And I don't know why. Sydney's a big city. Places close very early. We went out to eat last night. It was 9 something, and they said, "Oh, we just did last call for the kitchen, but if you order some takeaway, we'll feed you."
Oh, you're speaking like them. Takeaway?
Well, that's what he called it. Yeah, takeaway.
Takeaway.
It was a to-go order, but they have tables right out front. Like we're here. We're not inside the bar. We're outside the bar. They got tables set up out here, right on the street.
How's the beer?
Here he comes right there. What is the name of this place?
The Occidental.
This is the Occidental. Okay.
Occidental?
And this is a Cooper's Lager.
It's Carlton.
Carlton. See, here I'm a liar. It's a
Thank
Carlton
you.
Lager. All right.
And I'm drinking an Amaretto Sour. I've never seen it like this. It's usually green.
With egg whites in it
Yeah,
to make it frothy.
Yes.
But I do. I'm a beer guy. I do love a good Amaretto Sour.
Do you see it?
You gotta hold it up.
Hey, hold it up. I'm trying to see. There's a topping, a red topping. I guess the white stuff is the egg whites to make it frothy. So this is totally
Carlton.
different.
I don't know where I got Cooper's from.
Because you did see a Cooper and you was gonna.
Oh, was
get
it the Cooper's IPA and the
Yeah.
Carlton Lager? Okay, I don't know. We've been walking for a while. I've been burning off all these calories. I'm trying to replenish it now. So.
Oh, this is different.
Let me have a sip of that.
I don't think it tastes like my Amaretto Sour. It's too lemony.
It is. It's not bad.
It's not bad.
It is definitely heavily lemony, but
very lemony.
it's
It's like having.
you can taste the amaretto at the beginning, but then the lemon kind of takes over. But
Exactly.
it's an Australian amaretto
It's
sour.
almost like a lemonade.
It's hard to drink things here because the stuff wants to come up out of the glass because we're actually filming with the camera upside down because.
You're so silly.
Yeah.
He's so silly. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is different.
Okay. We will be coming back in just a minute with something new to talk about. This is actually a very light, crisp lager. It's delicious.
Picture.
It tastes good on this cool day. It's not hot. It's not warm, not hot. It's just very comfortable. You can walk around without sweating to death. Looking forward to trying that IPA. Maybe it's a Cooper's IPA. Who knows? Stay tuned to find out. All right. Well, one of us is back with another drink. Apparently, that needs to be nursed along. Well, the first beer was not a Cooper's. It was a Carlton Lager. He said that's like the most Australian beer to drink. And then he said, or this one, this is an original pale ale from Cooper's. I think I'm going to like this one a little bit better. That's got to be the most mildest pale ale I've ever had. So, most of you know IPAs are more stronger flavor. These pale ales are the same flavors, they're just more subdued. But this is very, very, very subdued. Let me try to have another sip here because it does have the pale ale flavors just on a microscopic level.
No, it's pale ale. I can tell.
I mean, the flavors are there. It's just they're very,
It's probably
very,
the closest, I
very
think, for us.
mild. This, see, I don't know. Can you get Cooper's original pale ale where you're at? You can. It's very, very. It's like the first beer that you would want to try if you just drink light beers and lagers and you want to try to get into the IPAs but you think they taste nasty. Because this is so mild of flavor, but it is nudging you in that direction. Did you try it?
I did.
I wasn't.
Tastes like beer.
Good thing, it is beer.
Very strong. I don't know where the mild thing you're coming from with, but hey, you know your beers.
It has more flavor than the Carlton Lager did.
Oh my goodness, lady.
The more I drink it, the flavors are kind of coming out a little bit more. I do like a pale ale, but I also love IPA. I'm getting to where I like the obnoxious ones, and those are the ones I really hated when I first started reviewing beers, but see, now I like them. You just gotta drink them enough, you develop a taste for it. We did try Vegemite this morning at breakfast. It was, it's truly an acquired taste. I put it on toast. I forgot to butter the toast. Somebody said it's better if you put butter on the toast.
Nothing's gonna help it.
So we're in the hotel breakfast area, and I'm walking by this table. There's a dad and 2 kids, and I heard the kids say, "Dad, do you think Americans," and I didn't hear what he said. So I stopped, and I said, "Well, I'm an American. I'll answer your question for you." He just asked me, "How do Americans say Nutella?" I said, "Well, we say Nutella." So then I had to ask him about Vegemite, and he said, "If you've never had it, it's best just to smear it on there very, very thin. Just very, very thin. Like the way she makes a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. She just stains the bread with the peanut butter. You can't taste it. I like to put it on like this thick. I like it to taste like peanut butter. But I gotta say that the Vegemite was very strong flavored.
Salty.
It is salty, and
Very salty.
the aftertaste after I swallowed it to me tasted it was like a very sharp cheddar cheese. I can't say it was bad. I mean, it got better
bad
with every bite. It wasn't bad, but I wasn't raised on it, so it's totally a foreign concept to me. Why somebody would want to put that on bread. But I will try it again because the guy told me that if I keep eating it by the end of the week, I'll be smearing it on this thick. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
No.
Is it getting better with every day. So
tomorrow he'll have it with butter.
I'm gonna try it with butter.
And it'll still be disgusting.
Well, but everything else, nice breakfast at that restaurant. Lots of, because we're in Australia, they do have a few American choices. But they did have beans. That's like a British thing.
Oh yeah, the beans.
What was some other weird stuff they had?
The beans needed some American
Chia
pork.
pudding. We didn't try the chia pudding. But it's nice. It's a nice kid-free vacation. There's no stress. I think my blood pressure's down to about nothing right now.
And you saw by you watch the Thursday? Correct.
It is nice. The city has a New York City kind of vibe to it, but at a much slower pace. It's beautiful though. So we'll be back a little bit later with something else. Cheers.
Hey! Is
Welcome
it recording?
everybody. Yeah, it's. Where are we? We're in the.
I can't read the
Sydney-
name. There it goes. That's the name of the place.
Yeah, so it's a place in the middle of the Sydney Botanical Garden.
Yes, it is.
So of course we're trying a different Australian beer every place that we stop. So what do you got there?
I have Sydney.
Beer Company Lager. And I know, I saw the price, $11 for a lager. She went that way. This was $11, and this is a Australian Pale Ale.
Yeah, and I have a lager, 4.5%.
And I have 4.8, so mine's always a little bit bigger.
Yes.
All right,
Ready to
let's
try it?
Let's see what it tastes like. Cheers.
Cheers. I like mine.
So,
It's very light.
and of course, this being
This is good.
an Australian pale ale. An Australian pale ale to me just tastes like a normal pale ale. It's very subdued on the flavors, but delicious as well. And this being a lager, I just expect this to be nice and crisp and delicious.
It is.
And it is.
That has that bitter taste I don't like.
Apologize for the top of our heads being cut off, but I forgot to bring my little tripod with us when we left the hotel today. So it's just sitting on the table. But what do you think of Australia so far?
I love it. It's very like meditation place. Relaxing.
It's very unusual because everybody seems to be so fit here. Everybody's
Yes.
running and jogging everywhere. Yesterday we did over 21,000 steps.
Yes, we did.
We did a lot of walking and I was completely exhausted, and then she wants to come out and break the record today, so we're just walking and stopping for an occasional beer.
Yes, I do want to break the record.
But it is weird though also that everybody here smokes. Everybody seems to be so fitness oriented, but yet everybody seems to smoke. It's weird. But it is nice. It's so peaceful.
I just don't see how they're running during lunchtime. That's what they're doing.
A lot of people running.
For their lunch break, they chose to run.
Yeah, that might be a side effect of eating the Vegemite. Which I've eaten it 2 breakfasts in a row now. I'm going to eat it a 3rd breakfast. It was much better today. And I think it'll be probably like that Australian guy told me. By the end of the week, you'll be putting it on there real thick.
I'm still not going to do it. I'm done.
I think he's right.
One and done. That corner piece that I tasted was just enough to say I tried it and I'm done with it.
It was quite, the first taste was definitely a shock. But I ate most of my piece of toast that had it on it.
But you know what? You don't waste food. My parents taught me not to waste no food.
That's not a bad thing. I don't like it when my kids waste food. I don't like throwing my money away like that.
So, but why do you have to get it the second day and the third day? It
because the
doesn't
guy
taste
said,
good.
it's an acquired taste. You can't acquire a taste if you don't keep tasting it.
Ugh.
See, and I liked it better today, and tomorrow I'm going to like it even more.
I'm still never going to purchase it for our house, so enjoy it while it lasts.
You can't, I mean, maybe you can buy it in the States somewhere, maybe. I don't think I've ever seen it, but I've never looked for it in the stores. But since I can't get it there, I got to get it while I'm here.
And enjoy it while you're here, because it ain't coming home.
Yeah, so this is Young Henry's Newtowner. I don't know if I mentioned that. Australian Pale Ale. Serve the people.
Why does it say preservative free? What's that about?
Maybe it's fresh. Maybe they're canning it right in there. Who knows? But they're good. They're decent beers. I haven't had any super flavorful beers here yet. But I'm sure they have them. We just haven't got to them yet. But we still got one more full day, the rest of today, and another full day tomorrow to be here. So we'll get to as many as we can.
Yes, we will.
So thanks for coming along with us on our trip to Sydney, Australia. We'll be back with some more right now. All right, another pub. This is called Hart's Pub, somewhere in Sydney, Australia. All they have is Australian craft beers. So what I got is the J Juice NEPA from Hop Nation Brewing Company. Footscray Vic. I don't know what that means. Is that Victoria? Is that a state or a city in Australia? We'll just say that it is. 7.1% alcohol. It smells wonderful. And are you gonna try this, camera person?
No.
Kind of florally, which normally I don't like, but it goes very good in this beer. Probably because I've just walked yesterday 21,000 steps plus. Today
We're over 15.
over 15,000. We got to go back home to America where we can drive our cars everywhere. That's where everybody's walking and running and jogging. Everybody's in shape, and the only fat guy here is me. But I'm gonna replace all the fat I lost on the trip with these empty calories right here because it is delicious. Don't know if you can buy it anywhere. Probably not. These are small craft brewers, he said. So I believe him. It's cloudy, it's delicious. And I will come back to you with the next one very soon. Okay, we're still in Hart's Pub. I think this is my third beer here. This is Crumblicious Honeycomb and Toffee Stout from Dainton Brewing Company in Carrum Downs, Victoria. And I was speculating if it was Victoria, but I have proof. In a minute. It's 7.1% alcohol, and it's quite delicious. Hold on. Oh man, it's so good. Look what we have. We got Gary and Lisa over here.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
They're actually from Melbourne.
From Melbourne.
We're from Melbourne, yeah.
Melbourne. Real Aussies.
Yes.
Real Aussies.
Real Aussies from Melbourne.
Yeah.
I've been learning a lot from Gary about Australian rules football, which I watched as a kid, but never had anybody explain it to me. I just had to kind of figure it out. I did not have it figured out at all. Thank you for teaching me that. And I see that you guys are lager. You prefer the lagers?
Into the lager.
Yes, I'm a big fan of the lager. I think I'm not a big fan of hoppy beers. You know?
Yes. So here's my story. So when I used to drink beers, I drank light beers, which I thought that tasted like beer because that's all I knew. Until I started drinking other beers and figured out there's more flavor than it. I did not like hops.
No.
Didn't like hops. However, I've been reviewing beers for almost 3 years now, and I've actually kind of fallen in love with them. Hops can be obnoxious. They can be like punching you in the face, you know? Obnoxious.
That's how I feel.
I did not like that in the beginning, but the more I drank, the more I kind of developed it. I'm gonna throw the B word at you guys because I've only been here a couple days, but I've had Vegemite every breakfast for the last 2 days. So you guys as Aussies, give me your opinion of Vegemite. What do you think about it?
Well, you know, as a child, you grow up with, you know, toast and butter and Vegemite.
So you were brought up eating it.
A little bit of Vegemite, not like.
Vegemite is something that has to be put on very sparingly,
Yes.
right?
Okay.
Very little.
So generally you would
And with nice
butter your
butter.
toast and then just put
Good butter.
little bits of Vegemite. You don't. It's not like Nutella or something.
Right.
You don't smear it on like
So
like peanut butter or something.
luckily the hotel that I'm staying at, there was a dad from Queensland.
Yeah.
Queensland?
Yeah.
Somewhere up there.
Yeah.
Had his 2 boys, and I heard as I was walking by the table at the morning breakfast, his son asking, "Dad, do you think Americans?" And that's all I heard. So I stopped and I said, "Well, I'm an American. I can answer your question for you. What is it?" He said, "How do Americans say Nutella?"
Right.
Well, we say Nutella. And I said, "Let me ask you a question. What's the deal with Vegemite?" And the kid told me it's disgusting. The dad said, "Well, it's an acquired taste. You start off with it thin." He said, "By the end of the week, you eat every day. By the end of the week, you'll be putting it on thin."
No.
Well, let me tell you. Let me tell you.
No.
I put it on thin the first day, and I took a bite, and I was like, "Wow, this is."
Did you put it all over?
I did.
Yeah.
It's a strong flavor.
Yeah.
It's an unusual flavor for me as an American. We don't have anything that even resembles that. But I said, you know what? I'm going to keep trying it. So the next day, which was today, I had it for breakfast, and it was a lot more easier to eat. And I think the guy was right, because he told me by the end of the week you'll be spreading it on thick.
Yeah.
I think he's right. But let me tell you,
I
It's
don't
very
know
savoury.
anyone
But you
in
don't-
my life
doing-
that spreads it on thick. Ever,
Since you're reviewing beers, you know, I mean, Vegemite is made from the brewing extract.
So
Yes.
They take the top off the brewing process and
good for vitamin B.
basically put salt in it.
yes, I was trying to find a beer flavor in it, but the first thing that hits my tongue is extreme saltiness.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you can't put
But
it thickly.
after I
You can have salt.
swallowed it, I got a very sharp cheddar cheese type kind of aftertaste.
A
in
lot
my
of
mouth.
people eat it with cheddar cheese, actually.
Yeah.
Like for lunch for kids, you know, you pick butter on
I
it
can
and
see-
cheese
I can see
and
where
then
it has
little bits of
where it
Vegemite.
has its place. It
Yeah.
is such a strong, pungent flavor that I can see where if you've never had it before, like I never had it until 2 days ago. It was very strong.
Can I tell you something? A friend of mine now lives in Queensland, but from Melbourne, and she introduced me about 5 years ago to when you have your boiled eggs and you have your toast soldiers, googie eggs we call them, or dippy eggs, whatever. And she puts Vegemite on that, on the toast soldiers, and then dips them in the egg. And I went, I've never had that before, that's weird. And she went, no, you'll like it. Of course, because of the saltiness, it does go well. But, I mean, I don't have Vegemite in my house. My kids are grown up. But if someone gave me a nice bread with nice butter and little dabs of Vegemite
See,
on
that's
it,
what I've been
I
getting
would be
wrong.
fine.
I've been taking the toast and I've been putting the Vegemite straight on it. I've been skipping the butter.
Yeah, just do a little bit of butter.
Tomorrow I'm going to butter the toast because I did hear that it is better with the butter.
Yeah, and it's nice to put the butter in little bits as well, so it's not all melted in. Like there's some that good butter, of course, no margarine or anything.
I don't know what they have at the hotel we're staying at, but
I've got to say
Should have
that my sister and I, we grew up in the same family, obviously, right? But I'm okay with Vegemite. I eat it, but it's not my go-to sort of thing.
You don't like it?
My sister, she loved it, right? And I remember there was a time when I was backpacking through Europe, and this is back in 1991, right? And she said to me, Gary, my Vegemite's almost empty, right? And so I bought a big jar of Vegemite, and I had it in my backpack. I carried it around for months before I got. She was living in Germany, and I had it with me for months, And I was in a backpackers in Barcelona, and it was in our travel guide, which was an Australian travel guide, and then it said, hey, this is a great place to go. So all right, went there, and it was full of Australians, New Zealanders, and a couple of Canadians, a couple of Americans as well. But heaps of Australians there, and we were all talking about the stuff that we missed from Australia, and then of course we started talking about Vegemite, wish we had some Vegemite, and then my girlfriend at the time says, "Oh, Gary's got a huge jar in his backpack, right?" And then like, "Oh, Gary, yeah." No, that's a present from my sister, right? I've been carrying this around for a long time to bring it to my sister in Germany, who's like, an absolute fanatic for Vegemite. Oh yeah, but we're not going to use much. We're not going to use much. And I'm like, no, and we're not opening that jar. No way. So I had to fight them off. They all wanted my jar of Vegemite, or my sister's jar of Vegemite.
there's an Australian beer reviewer. His name is Angler's Grog Beer Reviews. His name's Mad Dan. He reviewed a beer that was not Vegemite, it was called Marmite.
Oh yeah, Marmite. Yeah.
Marmite.
Well, that's the English version of Vegemite, right?
Well, he drank this beer and he cracked it open. He drank it, and after his fourth sip, what's the Australian word? He chundered.
Yeah. Well,
Right on camera, he went.
You can use any words for that. Yeah. I mean, we don't necessarily say chunder, but
Well,
anything from chuck up to puke to throw up to whatever.
As an American, our version of Australia comes from Steve Irwin, the Crocodile Dundee. Crocodile Dundee.
I know. Oh, look at him!
And Men at Work. And Men at Work. So,
yeah, and so there's
is it better, did?
No, I was telling you when you're gonna sign off.
Oh, I'm talking with an Australian. I'm not
I
going to
know,
sign
but
off.
I'm holding this. I'm holding.
yeah.
Say if the battery dies, I got another battery in my pocket.
Okay. Well, you're gonna edit this part that I said when you're gonna sign off.
All right. So we got Steve Irwin. What else? You would have known the Crocodile Dundee, right?
Crocodile Dundee.
With his Paul Hogan with his
That's
put another
That's nice.
but he did that ad. Put another shrimp on the barbie, right?
Yeah.
And we don't even call them shrimps, right?
What do you call them?
We call them prawns.
Prawns.
It's a prawn, not
Prawn
a
on the
shrimp.
Barbie?
Yeah.
We've been trying to find one.
Yeah. So that's the ridiculous thing, that he's Australian and he's saying, because he did this commercial for American television, he's saying, oh yeah, put another shrimp on the barbie, right?
Yeah.
And we don't even say that, so it's so un-Australian.
It's very rare to go to a seafood restaurant and see prawns. I know they're like the same thing, but we just don't call them prawns for the most
Of course.
part. We call them shrimp.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But see,
you
for us, shrimps are small. You know, like a prawn's a big thing. A shrimp
we
is
do
like,
have jumbo shrimp, which is stupid. You like shrimp ain't small, and you got jumbo shrimp.
Yeah. I know. It's a bit weird, but all right. So what else? What else you know?
Men at work.
Men at work. Yeah, yeah.
I
I
wanted
come
to-
from a land down under.
I wanted to ask you if you speak my language.
Yeah, yeah. He
See
just
if you-
smiled and gave me a Vegemite sandwich.
Well, do you speak my language?
Well, sure. would you like a
didn't give me no
Vegemite?
sandwich.
Would you like a Vegemite sandwich? Well, it's very funny because I had a guy when I was traveling around Europe. I met this guy in Germany, and he said to me, "Hey, you got to tell me, you're from Australia. He said, what's the deal with a wedge of my sandwich?" And I'm like, "What?" Right? He said, "Why does he want a wedge of his?" And I gave him. He gave him a wedge of his sandwich. And no, that's not what he says in the. It's a Vegemite, because he'd never heard of Vegemite, right? So yeah, a little bit of confusion with the language there, which isn't uncommon with Australian slang.
The battery's running low now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got another bag.
Well, we're here to talk about beer, and this is a lovely lager.
That's lager number 7.
Number 7.
Number 7 on the
Cheltenham, Victoria.
yes.
Near where I grew up.
So Victoria, is that a? I don't know what you call it here. Is that like a
State.
state?
Yeah.
It's a state.
So how many states are there in Australia?
There's one territory, that's where Darwin is, that's Northern Territory, and the rest are states. So how many
Yes.
is there?
Western Australia, South Australia, Victoria, New South Wales, Queensland, and Tasmania, and
And one,
the ACT, which isn't really a state, but it is.
So you say
It's like
Darwin is called a territory?
yeah, the Northern
Darwin's the
Territory.
capital city of the only territory we have, and we call it the Northern Territory. So this
Darwin
is New
is the
South
capital
Wales,
The
Nor-
Northern
the
Territory,
Northern Territory.
which is the site in the middle of Australia, right? So you've got underneath it you have South Australia, and above is the Northern Territory. So
Yeah, it's very, very interesting. Northern Territory, South Australia, Western Australia,
No, we're very-
Queensland,
yeah.
New South Wales.
Yeah. So we were in Sydney. Well, we're in Sydney.
Go.
All right, guys. Just left Bondi Beach, right over there. I think the name of the show is Beach Rescue. They filmed that there. It's like Baywatch, but for Australia. So now we're over here before we get back on the tour bus, eating a delicious, decadent. I don't know what this is. It didn't say, but it's like fudge with a brownie on top with a Bondi beer. I don't know. It's a lager. It didn't come in a can, so I don't know what to tell you about it, but it's delicious. So, cheers again from Bondi Beach in Australia. Goes good with the fudge. Alright guys, last beer from Hart's Pub. Hoppy Ready. It's the Hoppy Red IPA from Bridge Road Breweries in Beechworth, Vic, V-I-C. I have no idea. I didn't do my research. I'm just going to assume that's Victoria. It's an Australian craft beer coming in at 5.3% ABV. And it looks beautiful. This is the darkest Australian beer I've had since I've been here, with a nice creamy head. And I can't wait. I got to dive into it. It's a little windy. Can't really smell anything. I think you're gonna like this one. Well, I know the viewers would like this one if they could get it. I'm talking to the camera person. I think she would like this one. You wanna take a sip?
Sure. They're calling it Hoppy Red IPA. To me, it does have IPA flavors, but it's like an IPA that's a brown ale. It's weird. To me, it tastes like the two got married and had a beautiful child, and this is what it is. It tastes very delicious. What did you think? It's refreshing.
It's a good beer to drink with fried food.
Yep, it's definitely cold, carbonated, and delicious. And it feels good out here. Hearts Pub, Sydney, Australia. Go. How many more days do we have here? 1 or 2?
2.
2 more days here. There's more pubs to come. So stay tuned. Cheers.
Is your mic on?
Yep.
Well, hello everyone.
So it's nighttime. Oops. And we are at the Ship Inn, which is right across from where the cruise ship came in, and we took a little ferry boat across the way from Sydney to North Sydney today. Having another drink, and I forgot what the heck this is. I just know it's an XPA.
Wasn't it bars?
Belton XPA, another Australian beer. Very delicious.
I'm just having a watermelon martini. Look at my pretty watermelon.
It is pretty delicious for a non-beer drink, but I'm sticking with this. Loving Sydney.
This is very beautiful.
Feels good. I know I'm wearing a jacket, but I swear it feels good out here. I just get cold when I drink cold beer.
Well, it's nice and cool. It's not like it's cold, but it's cool.
What is it? It's 70 degrees right now. It's not bad. Back in a bit.
Go ahead.
That's all right.
All right, well, the battery died and the camera person had to go somewhere. We've been chatting for a while, but I'm going to sign off from Hearts Pub with Gary and Lisa.
Gary and Lisa.
Gary and Lisa. Check them out. They were the stars of that, what was that show? Team America.
Team America,
Team
that's right.
America. Yeah, they were stars of that.
That's right.
Of course, they were
later.
It was,
They were puppets. They were puppets
it was
in
based on us,
Oh my goodness.
Gary and Lisa.
Bye.
Absolutely.
See you
We'll
later.
see you next time. Till then.
Cheers.
Cheers.